The average teenager, Carlo Acutis, died when he was 15 on October 12, 2006.
Sono destinata a morire. Close.
But he left a deep admiration for his brief existence with an intensive testimony of an authentic Christian life, in the memory of all the people who knew him. Here are some testimonials and impressions he left in the hearts of all who knew him. His classmates agree to say that Carlo was a unique testimony of Christ and a distributor of the word of the Lord. But he never talked about Jesus at school, and it was only his behavior, actions, words and faith that inspired others.
One of his friends reminds, "I can testify Carlo's purity, his friendship towards me and towards others who have never betrayed, his generosity, his constant help towards his companions. I often discussed with him the importance of going to the Mass, and Carlo showed me the great loyalty he had for Jesus and the Church. He liked traveling, to see the places where Mother Mary appeared in the past centuries and to see where the saints were buried. He liked the sea, meaningful conversations and being friendly with all the houseworkers. He was open to greet and spread the word to anyone needed. He loved animals and he had both dogs and cats at home, loved spending time with his grandparents as well." As a character, he was available, helpful and friendly. He had no difficulties in speaking either with nobles or with beggars on the street because no one was different to him. For him, getting to know someone new was like discovering a new world. He used to say, "All humans are creations of God."
Being the only child of the family, he would have wanted a faithful friend, and in his short existence, he met a special person, Jesus Christ, who made Carlo extraordinary. Meeting Jesus Christ in his life, he found a friend in Christ, a reference point to the reason for our existence in this world. Without the presence of Jesus in his daily life, he would have not behaved in this particular matured way. He was way too similar to his same-aged children, but the thing that made him different was the great devotion he had for Christ inside himself. Humans and the spiritual growth of Carlo was the gift of Jesus for his faith. He knew that to follow Jesus, he needed to offer sacrifice and humility. His life was entirely Eucharistic, dedicated to Eucharist and Virgin Mary. He not only loved and honored profoundly the minister of the body and the blood of Christ, but also assuming the aspect of offering, donating and sacrificing. And also he was devoted to the holy sacraments and talked about the importance of the holy sacraments. For him, the time spent in front of the Eucharist was a school of love. He felt behaving well and correctly isn't enough, and he should do more, that he should donate to God to be more useful to the brothers. His "bring salvation to the souls" started from here. Carlo was more devoted to the Holy Heart of Jesus and trusted his merciful love.
And also, he was so devoted to the Virgin Mary and the Rosary that he recited the Rosary every day. He used to have an appointment with Jesus and Mother Mary each day.
So much maturity for a child of this age was strange, but Jesus has been making and shaping him to be his disciple. And he had felt the certainty of being loved by God. It's time for a testimony of someone about Carlo Acutis.
As his mother was quite busy with her work, a teacher of his school gets the opportunity to come to his house to help him to finish his homework. This teacher becomes like the second mom of him, and almost all the elementary school teachers were second moms for the elementary school children.
The testimony of a teacher who accompanied him to home. Particularly, I remember that Carlo followed and helped the friends who were in difficulty both in studies and in difficult family situations. This was certainly a great quality which shows the generosity and charity that Carlo always had for his neighbor. He had a delicacy in his mind with the nuns, the teachers and his companions. In particular, I remember for the Christmas fair at school, he always went to buy gifts for everyone with his savings, and once he gifted me a big hand-painted decorative candle. He was very balanced, polite and prudent, giving the impression of being older than he was. Especially, in a child who had a great nobility of soul and humility, I have never heard him boasting of what his family had. His companions often gave themselves the air of having money, new vehicles. Instead, Carlo was always discreet, and I've never heard him talking about such things. While his companions were following the fashion, Carlo stood out for his originality and seemed to be immune from all these things. What I was impressed about Carlo is that he went to church every day, and sometimes, it made me go to church with him. I will never forget about this special child, so different from the others and so good. I'm sure that Carlo is very close to Jesus. He had a beautiful image of Jesus right in front of the table where we studied. One thing, however, we want to say is that it is difficult, especially these days, to find a pure boy like him.